Go. Hi there, this is Fari Hemzi. We started recording, and hope everything is good. If there are a problem with hearing me, let me know. Okay. Welcome to Che PMT webinar. Every other week we do that, and we complement that with emails here and there. Obviously, we have our uh, uh, let's see, our you should be following Admiral Tico. That's where the charts go. You can put it on your phone, so you'll be alert by that. And the other part of this is these webinar videos. So I just can't. It's getting out of control how little time I have. So we're basically using technology. But you have Twitter, you have YouTube, and you'll be fine. The YouTubes are there's a video. It's a little bit old, but tells you how the service works, and there's a YouTube there, and we post them here. If you subscribe, which we have about what I don't know, a little bit under 2,000, 1750. The moment there's an update, you grab it. Now we don't just do PMT here; we do all of our. So we have one channel; everything is there, but it's the same thing, just markets. Okay. Okay. Really, really quick housekeeping items. We did roll out last night. Uh, this is we'll get into this too. We did roll out our new menus. We are, as you know, we got started into NT Ninja Trader. There's a logo. We're going through official rollout with them. We were approved yesterday after the testing. We took 17 of our 40 indicators we have, but this is the 17 best, which is 20 years of my life, 22 years of my life. We did it in 3 weeks. Okay, it was a one hell of a task, but the magic was from the guy who 3 years with Ninja, head of education, and 25 years with TraceStation. So we took those codes and pushed them to the grinder to make it doable. Hey, Dave, how are you? Long time no see, Dave. Workable with NT. Very impressed. 64-bit, not 32. 1.9 million traders. They're setting up. We were part of their ecosystem as of last night, so they will be rolling out all kinds of goodies. And because they're ex TraceStation, from what I hear, I didn't have to do anything. They just said, "Hey, we know about you from TraceStation. Your name would come up all the time in the business development of meetings." So that was good. To give you a feel, we did the Tiger Shark slash OTF request to TraceStation to code this to understand. I created my own bar basically. To get that in there, it took them a year to program. And then T guys did it in 2 days. Without even me bringing it up. I mean, I was just like flabbergasted. What? They said, yeah, you already put that recording in there. Of course, my stuff goes on top of it. Their bar alone is not going to do it. But it saves us time. I was really panicking how long will it take for us to do it. But I think they're going out of their way to please us, and I have no problem with that. I don't like to chase people. I prefer to be chased. Yeah. So it's a good working relationship. So this stuff is there a lot. They want the disclaimers, good testimonial. We put a disclaimer up there. This has been ongoing stuff. Um, they want to make sure my asset management company is not advertising, and we're not. We don't even have a website. The software we've written is very, 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 very high network people, institutions. So we can't go out there and advertise, nor do we want to. Under NFA rules, you can only have 15 accounts over preceding 12 months. So I've closed all my accounts starting middle of last year, one by one. And some of them went out kicking and yelling and talking to me about karma and all that. One guy paid for his daughter's wedding, and he says, "You can't go. You can't leave me. You can't kick me out." I said, "We go more, bring more money. No problem. I just can't do it." We had to raise our minimum uh, uh, in 7 digits, and so remember, it's a 400 to 1 leverage. It's a very, very dangerous game. You need very good indicators. We made 7% last Monday. I haven't traded these 2 days. I've been busy with this announcement and all that. So no complaints, but I'm learning a lot, and the things are good. Aside from that, let's see. Our prices will go up on ES Chatsu. This does not include today yet, but you could see for if you trade one contract, you paid $500 a month. This is your yield, 7x. You still, if you can buy one, you can buy a subscription. You can trade as much as you want. Let's say if you trade three contracts, it's 21x. It's highly underpriced. Highly. Here's the curve. Parabolic. There you go. Why? Part of it has to do with I said last week. We're using Tiger Shark ES, which I don't trade myself. I can't. I trade NQ, CL, and beginning to look at bonds. That model is not finished yet, but so there's no. I'm not creating competition with myself. I won't do that. And that's a dedicated Zoom. Nancy and Mark use it, and you can see what's happening. Remember, these are fills from the customers. It's not our fills. It's your fill. Okay, we have a very strict. When you go in there, you'll see we have a very strict uh, 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 protocol. Protocol for, and see, you should read that before you're coming in. There's a decorum rule. That means how you have to behave in the chat room. There's a lot of people here, and it's going to get really busy because of Ninja. Remember, 1.9 million. They only trade ES and Q and gold and that sort of thing. But majority ES and Q. There's a decorum you have to read, and it's online. So you go in. If we change it, you see a change. Uh, and then there is the reporting. What governs, how, and this is done by Nancy, what governs our process? Data is no longer available on Google. We moved it to .NET. We go to the .NET, you'll see that we show you the trades. What we don't show you is our calculations because that was stripped. By who? Thomas. The guy used to run that too. But he made a mistake. He left it on my Google Drive. So I zapped it. Now what? What is he gonna do? So this is not. So this is what you get on the blog. Chart is updated every day. If it's trades, we'll update. Well, you gotta. So I'm waiting. I gotta wait for Nancy to finish. But she's very, very prompt, reasonably. The chart is there. You can blow it up. Same chart as of last night. There's. Forget that. This is when we open again. Uh, we'll. Nancy, we may want to put something here. I don't know. We'll figure out. Last updated. Yeah. And let me go here. Hold on. We've traded all the trades. This is trade one, for example. Well, all of them. We're not showing this part. The code that would calculate this page. Hold on. The code that he was stealing this from us. And this is system engineering. You know, there's quite a bit of work involved. I couldn't have done it without Nancy. I had some of the ideas. Some of them. Hi, Kapil. How are you? They're published. That's nothing new. But you have to add that inside your Excel, which is this area. He was stealing this stuff, and there's more. There's more. You guys, there's a lot of if that statement to compute what you want, and I found it on my own drive, Google Drive. Bang! History. This is called karma. So not just he lied what he was doing here. He stole this code too. Remember, you can't steal Google Sheet. Google Sheet belongs to Google. But what you put in there is your idea, is your code, is your ownership. Now I'm not gonna go after him. He doesn't have a pot to piss in. So let him be. And now with the what do you call it? With crypto this down, he's getting foxtrotted from both sides. I'm trying to be polite here. All right, so that one we're gonna raise our price a little bit. I think it's 4.99. Uh, yeah, it's 4.99. It'll be about 5.75, 15%. We started with very low price, and we had no track record. And Admiral Sposito, uh, with 27 years of experience in SIBO, he had a leg injury. You know how bad things were. I mean, I don't think he cleaned up until about here, back and forth with the doctors. Now we recently added trade numbers because this is based on trades, not based on days. Each trade is posted, including what the initial stop is. You can see exactly what we've done. These are trade by customers, not by us. There's no entry or of data here from Nancy, for me, or for Dennis and Mark. It's what you guys report to us in real time. We record the videos and we record the chats. You can't get more transparent than that. Why? There's so many stupid idiots out there. They don't understand. If NFA walks in, they're toast. Anyhow, we compute the win loss ratio. Yeah, his win loss ratio is above one. It's impossible. You can't. You can't have win loss ratio bigger than one. Yeah, just idiots are idiots. Those are many idiots. 212, very nice. Key period was to get to two. He crossed that a while back, and of course now this is all-time high. The goal is to get to 2.5, 275. It'll be very difficult. Very difficult. Remember, look at the sample size. It's let's see, these two numbers, right? Three, 410 trades. You gotta take the no fills out. Because the way we're set up, when we're transparent, we have to. Nancy wrote the code to understand that. Otherwise, the numbers won't line up. $174 a day income, which is this is per 21 trading days in a month on average. Here's the yield per day is about 34 and a half at 732. Now, keep in mind, at Ninja, this is $500. Today, I don't know what it was because when you get to market volatility, they raise that. Normally, it's 26,000. Well, no, it's more than that. I'm sorry, that's for NQ. Hold on one second. There's a page that you can open up. New window. Okay. You go to chat room. No. Huh? Okay. Hold on. You go to margins, futures margin, and this is from. It doesn't matter what it is. It's really, but the dictum, the order comes from CME. Hold on one second. There we go. Margin rates. You could see the difference. Up to 50 contracts on the ES. No, up to 100 contracts on ES is only $500, which is quite a bit. NQ for the first 50 contracts, it's 1,000. But you can come down and see. Let's go to ES. Where's ES? That's index, right? Hold on. There we go. It's 5,000 right now intraday. They raised that. Yeah, raised it to 25%. Usually it was 10%. This is overnight. Notice these days they have two numbers now, long and short. Yeah, and long and short, you could see if you're long, they're going to charge you a little bit extra. Okay, it's as a performance bond. Uh, because you don't cash anything out. The money actually sits in it. Cash slash margin, performance margin, which is a performance bond. It just moves back and forth depending on your risk. And then there's a settlement at 4. It sells at 4. Now, TradeStation is still computing 415, but CME changed it to 4. Ninja doesn't have that power. That mistake. So I really like Ninja, but it took me a while. Plus, it's C sharp, so you can program it more flexibility. Okay. We are going to raise the price of PMT. Existing members doesn't apply. As long as you're an existing member, until you get an NSF or you cancel, your price stays the same. Remember in Godfather 2, said the landlord told it to the lady, your price the same. Yeah, we will not touch that. If we improve it massively, and we'll announce in advance, then that could be a repricing, but we haven't done that. All thing we're doing here is A, performance, and B, level of inflation. So 15% is very, very reasonable. And don't look at what you're paying, look what you're getting. And this is the trick right here. It's called value proposition. Okay. This is for one contract. You pass one and you trade 3 contracts, you could be 10 grand in a month. Remember, it gives you stops, targets, there's audio, video, there's plenty of support in the room to help you and so forth. On NT, I've requested Josh Corman to be my NT guy, just like Cash is for TradeStation. We're going to continue to support TradeStation, but no new indicators. We'll do bug fixes. and of course we extend for the what do you call it, for the uh, 90-day trial. I'm sorry, 90-day code. We don't have to do that with that Ninja. Ninja is very intelligent, and it's uh, what they do is your authorization is on the cloud. So we have one file that indicators that go to you. You can download, but once we get your payment, then we authorize it, and the day payment fails or you cancel, we take it out. Given what you paid for, obviously you have to work out what you paid for. We don't want to owe you money, but uh, but we don't have to take a reserve for end of the quarter like we had to on today's session. So things are a little bit easier. I can do authentication. I mean, you authenticate. I can do authorization immediately. Okay. What else? We're going to update the product page, so don't go there. Read that. They can move some things around. We took the Orb out. Orb, by the way, Orb on Monday did 52,000 for 3 contracts. Never seen that before. Never. I remember the highest we had was the first few weeks that we started live account, live testing at the Striker. I think one day uh, we had a $16,000 return. I think so. One day for 3 contracts. One day, yeah, but never 52,000. It was absolutely incredible. Again, it goes back to slope and color. Hi, Michael. How are you? Slope and color. And when it runs like that, oh, I'm in. I'm in big time. I'll start sending Phoenix missiles after another. And there's a calls for that. It's called Fox One, Fox Two. So as I'm handling my own account for the clients for the hedge fund, speaking out, I'm giving guidance to the NQ group. I don't do it for you at ES. I do it for NQ. If you haven't traded futures before, maybe you want to try ES, but definitely not NQ. NQ you have to graduate to. It's like graduate course. Yeah. Let's finish for 4 years on ES, then we talk. Why? You can burn your hand very fast. You could be up and down. You know, pretty good amount. Just do the math. Look at ATR. We hit 333 ATR on yesterday. We had 80 ATR. That's average true range. We had 80 ATR plus in ES. These days are not easy. Sometimes I just call it the educational. Just get your coffee, get your latte, whatever you like, and just sip and watch. Why? You're not going to see this again. Most likely, and hopefully. It's not every day that we hire idiots who single-handedly almost broke down the whole economy, uh, intentionally or unintentionally, but definitely due to lack of IQ. That he didn't understand his risk. He didn't understand the downside what it's going to be. And hedge funds rule this world. They went out there to teach him a lesson, and they sure did. Today's folded. And Besser used to work for Stanley Druckenmiller, OS Source. Probably had to go in and say, cut it off. If we go any further, let's say we dropped another 1,000 on the S&Ps, 10,000 and Dow. We may be able to come back. It could be sitting there for a long time. Why? People are already canceling orders. If you look at, we would be facing, and still we're going to have that, by the way, massive, massive supply chain. Not as bad as COVID, but fairly close. And all of this is inflationary. So now we'll get to the bonds and all that. Let's go to the calendar. Now, I wasn't here, so I didn't read the minutes. What time the minutes came out? FOMC minutes. Or was it? Hold on. Again, I don't see it. Oh, treasures. No, no, no. I thought. Oh, there we go. Today it came out. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it was today, right. Big thing was notes, 10-year auction, and 39. Remember, 9 trillion. Now, one thing is a theory out there that this was engineered to bring the rates down because 9 trillion with a T, that's a tango, not a bravo, it's not a billion, it's a or have to be refinanced of the U.S. Treasury obligations this year out of the 36. That's about the 25%. So before December. What has happened? This is money and banking 101. You're going to crowd out the retail, crowd out the institutions. The non-government doesn't get the priority. Why? The credit rating. So maybe they were trying to bring this down, but it's not working like that. We'll get to that. You'll see. Bitcoin was 267. That's not bad. Healthy, you know. And this is the coupon, face value of that. We'll get the treasuries on that. Let's see. What do we have that's going forward? Uh, we have oh Jesus. We have CPI and PPI. Hallelujah. More rock and roll for you. Now remember, to me, when you have this kind of volatility, to me it's dead giveaway. Okay. As a Hey Charles, how are you? As an intraday futures trader, I love volatility because it goes up, it goes down. We use bands. The bands give us fear and greed bands. We respect those. They're gold. And they've been around 5, 6, 7 years now. This is software. Yeah. At least at least 2000, maybe 2019. So 6 years there. Yeah. Very, very little minutia of adjustment would have needed. If you design it good and it's got some what I call anti-logic anti-logic sensitivity. It knows where the flip comes. We were a day early. If you look at the chart, I respect that, but that's because Tico gave us two targets, and the first target was in 4 days, and I said this is going to be low chance. Well, the second one was the next day. 5400 was breached on Thursday, last Thursday, and 5100 on Friday. So I had a miserable weekend because I paid back, but not anymore. But I knew I was near. I'll go into the charts. Let's see. Jobless claim. Well, this should be slowly going up from the government layoffs, but I don't know. We'll see. Depending on what the reporting cycle is. So give it a chance. It'll catch up. But it's not going to be like COVID again. Yeah. Okay. Uh, Anything else? No. Oh, next week. Yeah, because we do every other week. So let's quickly look at what do we have. This is again same source, but they have a book version of this that you can get for a whole year. Okay. Okay. Monday's gonna be 14th. We have Empire State, which is the mid Atlantic, well, mid to North Atlantic economy on manufacturing side. That's on Tuesday. Retail sales and industrial production and business inventories on Wednesday. Thursday, two big numbers again: uh, housing starts and permits and jobless claims. Why did bring Baker Hughes early? They moved Baker Hughes from Friday to Thursday. Okay, and then on the 18th, which it's option expiration, nothing. Oh, that's Good Friday. So we're probably going to expire on the 17th on Thursday. Right, right. And so on Easter is on 20th. Okay. Leading economic indicators on 21st. Richmond Fed next day. They're soft. They're kind of green reports. New home sales, big one, 10 o'clock on Wednesday. And Beigebook, it's hard to extrapolate what's going to go there because now everybody's got an opinion. So these averages or consensus opinions will change. And remember, next week, or is it this Friday, Nancy? We start banks report on Friday, I think. This Friday. Uh, so we're going to be a mist of a lot of also earnings, big name, Max 7, so on. So it's going to be a very, very difficult period. So be careful. I'm sorry, can you comment on the exact structure of my trading room? We show charts. I can invite you to come in. I'll give you a week on your on me. No problem. You come in, but you got to do true names. We have to. You can't have pseudo names. I noticed on your email, the emails come with a different name. You got to be yourself. How do we do that? You pay us $1 on PayPal, so we know exactly who you are. We'll give you $1 back. But basically, it's a chart room with audio and video. Everything is recorded. Mark Esposito runs it, and he gives you trades. He gives you heads up. Then the trade come in. The moment the fill is in, he gives you a stop, and then gradually placed on the target. Okay, obviously the bias is there. If you look at it, he's been killing it. You could see. Let's look at it this way. First of all, let me show you something else. We have done this. Now there's a small offset here by checksum, but what is done? He had two losing week. This is way underpriced. I know that. So he's killing it like crazy. So, oh, you have yet? Oh, that's right. You you're using DMZ to through the indicators. You must be. Okay. Yeah, good for you. Yeah, DMZ doesn't joke around. Yeah, unfortunately, I got to it late. I did CI really quickly, about a year of work, and 20, right through actually through 9/11, 2001. We introduced it in February of 2002. I still have a guy in he retired from Putnam in Boston. He's still sending his quarterly fee for CI. Of course, we've added more indicators, obviously. We increased the price a little bit, but because to new members, not existing. Yeah, but he was really, really helpful to me on the CI. Actually, he was one of the first guys who came to me and said, "Hey, this is so valuable. I'm afraid you may be underpricing it." I said, "It's okay. Let's just get feedback, you know." So, and then we go forward. Yes, DMZ is very good. If you follow DMZ carefully, especially Peter is outstanding on NQ, and it trends better. Okay, so when it turns around, when it goes through the squeeze, the other side opens up. So it's very good. No worries. Yeah, yeah. I'll give you some time. Don't worry. Don't worry. Come in and take a look. You trade ES or NQ? NQ. Okay, that's my room. I'm with Peter. Okay, I'll set it up for you tonight. Not a problem. Just you need good audio. Make sure your speakers are working, and you need high speed connectivity. Okay, that's all. It doesn't matter what you use. Remember, you're not running charts. We're running it. We manage it. We use what's called OTF, other time frame. If you're familiar with volume profile, you see what it means. It's looking for the whales. Market is moved by whales, not mom and pop. You and I cannot do that. We're too small. Even with 200 NQ contracts, it's nothing. It's nothing what this market can do. So you want to watch the big. And how do we do that? Parsing the volume data tick at a time. You know, as a one tick, not a one tick bar, but volume of each tick. We record, filter, and we rewrite into another .NET database, and then we plot that. Okay, yeah, it's a very clever way of doing it. Yeah, but we didn't know that time. I was just experimenting. Sometimes when you do great things, you don't know what it is. You just try to do your best. That makes logical sense. Anyhow, this is Mark. Mark is different. Marks give you trades 111, the net sequence and all that. Either ES, we don't do NQ, we don't do that. Why? The moves are too big. The moves are too fast. But we give you levels. You see the sigma level. Sigma levels, you see CI, DMZ, you got the ST vol, and great moderator. Peter is awesome. We've got as a comp this week. We said, you know what? A lot of people are under pain. A lot of people are having a lot of trouble. We understand that, and let's share his warning brief with everybody, as long as they're subscribers. We were sending it out once a week to everybody. Problem is, it takes too much of our CPU on our on the cloud. It's a big list. Now we give it to all subscribers. As long as you have one package, you get his report. You take a look what he thinks, how he looks at things. It's scary. And he's a material engineer from Georgia Institute of Technology. I mean, you would think over there for airplanes because they're next door to Martin Marietta when the C5A and C130s and Starlifter is at 141, yeah, was being produced. Now C17, that's Boeing, it's not even there. But he's from there, but he's done process control and material engineering. But what a knack he has for markets. Now, he reads a lot. If you look at what he writes in the morning or what he writes in the chat room, this is not an ordinary trader. He reads a lot, but is pretty much spot on. Remember, with the ATR at 330, 330, there's a lot of unknowns. That's what that signal is telling you. When you have a skew, let's see what the skew for today is. Uh, in these levels, all-time highs at Sigma. Things are opaque in front of you, so very difficult. Yeah. Okay, enough with calendar. We have one more week, but we'll be having it. I just do 2 weeks because that's in between these webinars. You don't have to come to these webinars all the time. You should go to the YouTube and subscribe, or just take a look. We send out this on YouTube anyway as a reminder, or you see it on Twitter. You should watch it. We'll get you hooked. I tell people I'm a drug pusher. I'm not a drug dealer. I'm a drug pusher. That means I'm going to give you enough that you're not going to leave me alone. You want it. You want it badly. And biggest drug out there is what? U.S. dollar, obviously, and it's legal. So yeah, when you see those kind of production of cash, you're not going to go anywhere. So now, where the mistake comes, people are not instructable. What does that mean? They have a Mankoff. Nancy's laughing now. They have a Mankoff syndrome. What's a Mankoff syndrome? Dave Mankoff was here. He married well and almost bankrupted the wife. Why? Farry, I looked at your trade, but I want to do my own thing. I'll get ideas, but I modify it slightly. I said, you're modifying your life. And, they live down in Malibu. Of course, now I don't know what's left. They own a hill in Malibu, Broad Beach area, way above, what do you call it, the PCH. But all those areas are burned down, unfortunately. And unfortunately, unbeknown to me, he was modifying my trades and trading him. I was there for lunch. I was invited. His wife was there, and she was furious. If you're this good, what's happening to my account? I said, I know he was trading your account. And I said, Dave, what's happening? Well, Farry, I mean, I need to learn, so I need to do my thing. No, no, stop that. What you should do is make money first. When you're losing, your receptacles in your brain are turned off. You're too stressed. You see a chart, but you don't see this what I see. That's the problem. So be a monkey. Follow. First of all, if you're yesterday, be a monkey and go trade uh, with Marcus Posito. You're a graduate from ES. You come to NQ and like a graduate because this is what started needed for NQ. Peter does a great job. We also have Pranay. He's from India. He's another sharp cookie. Yeah. These guys have been with me for years. Um, and they understand my technology. They use that. They explain that live. And the levels are massive. I mean, when Peter talks about put wall and call wall, we know in advance what that is. Levels are going to be on the charts. We're wobbling between, but it's giving you the high and low. And it's not the price on the chart, it's the pressure of the option open interest. Different way of thinking. Different way of thinking. Excuse me. It's a multi-dimensional chess game, and these two are pretty good, Mark and Peter. I mean, I take notes sometimes myself, to be honest with you. So I'm very mechanical. These guys are very inquisitive mind. They go and search things. You have seen some of the stuff I posted from Peter. He's spot on. Anyhow, let's go to charts. Sorry, I'm talking too much. My bad. Well, if you let me, Murray, if you let me. Remember, if you ask too many questions, you want to help, you got to pay. Remember, you went to the surgeon and you want to tell the surgeon what to do on you? He put the anesthesia mask on you and said, go sleep. Oh, yeah, exactly. We'll get there. Yeah. This was created because this problem, these two gaps. You don't see that often, and they were huge. If you remember, we were short coming in, rotated on that day, went too long, we stopped at the moment it peaked. Wait a couple of days, didn't go in. I kicked myself. That first one would not be a count because that's a push. It's trying to push the level. It takes 2 or 3 times. It's like a Coke machine. It's like a relationship. You can't tell well, forget the wife. Let's say with a girlfriend or a mistress. You can't just say no, go away. You have to shake it. It's like a Coke machine. It takes a while. This is the shake was. I went in on this day. I said we're near the what we call reset. Not reset. Retest failure. What was the retest level? It was the 200 day. Remember, this is SPX. I've watched SPX, NDX pretty much all my life. I mean, trading life. And as it, I started the silver crash. First trade was silver crash. Stocks only. We didn't have ETFs even back then. And then I had some options for by necessity. Anyhow, when you see that pattern, you say, okay, I gotta get out. I gotta get short. I gotta get short. I was flat here. Went short here, if I recall. I have the detail, obviously. If you, I'll open that so you could see. We have nothing to hide. Hold on one second. Come on. Okay, performance. See, I keep track of the data like this. Okay, as you go through, and then there's a mark to market which is open, long short, long short. This is what's used to for one thing only. Watch what Time and Digest is doing because I caught one mistake of theirs. I know they keep track of this. They have a computer all that. But one time I was long, and I sent in a note. I'm saying I was flat, sending a note for not long, and they said, "No, you can't be long. You're already long." I said, "No, I covered." Market had dropped quite a bit. It was over a month that was delayed. And I said, I got to do this myself. I found the email, sent it to them. They went to the drive. They have backup, obviously, because there's 120 people in this contest. Um, and they, here we go. This is, hold on. They came back and said, oops, yes, it's here. I said, there we go. And so they had to adjust. But I said, write to people, write to your newsletter saying there's a mistake. They need to know from you that the issue is. Come on. Huh? What the hell is this? Okay, there's something wrong with his menus. Okay, hold on. How can we that? Hold on. This is in development. I mean, it's a working process. Okay, so we have to look at what the other one's not kicking in. We'll find. Okay, there we go. So there's about 125. They show top 10. Look how I beat the second guy over 10 year, 2 to 1. Nailed them. Can you imagine what these guys down below? They were just they were put into a grinder. Now, most of this happened with 2, 3 trades only. Yeah, not too many. But you can see from the chart. One was here, and one was in 2008. You remember the government shutdown that the crazy dude was trying to do, what I call the supreme leader? Right about here. See that drop? That was a big one for me. And we do best on the down market. Why? When you're short, the fear, I trade better. I trade very good on the short position of the market. And then when you have to reverse and go long with it. Okay. Let's see where we are now. We're all time high. And we just pulled up here. We were down here. We were in terrible shape. How much did we come up today? Did I see 400 points, whatever? How much? 474 on S&Ps. That's huge. That's 4,500 Dow points. Was I nervous? Of course I was. If I tell you no, it would not be truthful. But this was the COVID short. Again, Admiral Chico, daddy, let's short this market. 12th of February, 2000. People didn't know how to spell COVID. It was very early on. And then it kicked in. And then we covered, we said 18,000. Why 18? That's the day, that's a level of Dow. I don't say on Dow that Trump came in. And the owners of this country are the hedge funds in aggregate. You do something wrong, they're going to teach you a lesson. So you don't do it again. And they sold so hard to 18,000. And my target time was spring equinox, Persian New Year, first day of spring. To that day, we had 1 day off. Remember, this was 38% drop in 5 weeks. We were 1 day off. Go to my webinars. There's no missing second. We don't. It's not the White House with Richard Nixon with 18-minute gap. We don't edit. If I use a four-letter word, it is in. I don't care. What are you gonna do? Freedom of speech. But if we make a mistake, we gotta correct it there. If we don't catch it, we'll talk about it the following week. Good journalists, good newspapers report corrections. Unlike Fox. Have you seen Fox report a correction? You've got to. If you make a mistake, you should be a mea culpa first. Be a culpa first, not other people. Don't wait for them to come to you. So anyhow, This was the one we reversed. It was on that day on that level. 80. I remember Sunday night. It traded 18086 on the YM, the lead contract of the Dow futures. I said that's it. I actually Chatham was open. Sometimes Sundays we keep it open. I was yelling at top of my lungs saying, "Cover, go long, cover, go long." We still dropped a tad on Monday. That's all she wrote. Super took off, and then because we were long, look what we added. So this range, if you draw it down, was about here, and then this was added. Now we made mistakes. Market did too. A little back and forth, but you could see our steady play. Now, if you do the pro, you get the option on it. Now, why didn't do options here? Same thing here. I didn't. Balls are too big, and we got a small guy sometimes trading. It's gonna burn their hands, and we tell them no option trade. Just we'll give you bias, which is you can trade the spy with it. Now, is there is a we had a stop here that was hit. Fine, fine. You will reassess. I haven't changed the bias. I'm still long. In this area, there were three trades I missed. I was wrong. Funny guy didn't really went. So if you have your conviction, you lose it. You have a stop, tight stop. That's small cost of business. Yeah, you can't turn on a dime. You have to have reason, logic, and so sometimes you're off. So be it. Remember, this is how many trades? This is there we go. 187 trades, going back to the 14. 2,400 days in the market almost, calendar days in the market, not weekends. And our average hold is about 12 days. So you can use this. One of the guys bought NQs, I'm sorry, ES, on Friday. Monday morning, he added to it. I think right now he's trying to get more jelly. I mean, I told him, why do you do this? He goes, well, I'm holding it for how long? 9 months. Now, today's going to call me to tell me how smart he was. Okay, but you don't hold futures at night. Okay, and last year he lost 700,000. I said, you're going to repeat that. Show some discipline. I've had $300,000 negative days. I have, but I come back a couple of days later, cautiously. But I go through the video. I'll take notes. I look at my trades and see where I went wrong. Wrong. You're gonna be wrong sometimes, but the best thing for being wrong is to learn how to fix. Why does Elon? I know Elon is not say the most stable guy. Has had three Falcon 9s explode, and he doesn't bat an eye. Why? Technology needs failure for it to improve. It's so complex you don't know where the problem is until some error happens. So keep it tight, stop. You learn from your mistakes. Get up, dust off, get rid of the all that dirt on you, and go forward. Otherwise, you're gonna miss the boat. You're better off going to drive Uber. So who was it I called the other day? I think it was Peter. I said, Peter, you got that Uber number? And he yells back, I was gonna ask you. So he was in trouble too. It happens. But just gotta keep it small. Nobody's gonna win all the time. If you think you're gonna win all the time, and I used to do that myself in about mid '90s, I would write this back-tested system. The problem I didn't understand was it was curve fitted. It would work on paper for a couple of days, and then it would take a dump, and then the ex-wife would come and say, "Barry, you did it again. No more soup for you. Come back next year." So don't want to do that. But anyhow, we keep track of it. Now, look what he has done. These are all positives. We had a loss. Look at this. That's it. S&P points. This is a little sloppy, but you can see. Look at this. We lost 16, but look what we accumulated. How do we do this? What am I going through with you right now? It's these charts. Just discipline. Of course, I have a little cheating because I got a geopolitical background. I also worked for a military industrial complex. I worked on F-18 and B-2. And my background is math and engineering. I was a sophomore at 16 at Princeton in financial engineering. So I've got a leg up a little bit. I wrote my first model for market timing in a little bit after silver crash on the Apple II with a thermal printer. My brother would program it. We'll feed the data, and we keep track of advanced decline, you know, Um, Marty's Week Concept. You read this book. Probably the first book, best book for the first time. But back then, the interest rates were higher, the front end. And so use Fed action and advanced decline. I'm willing to bet you even still works today. Not necessarily to that exactness, but I mean, I used to have calls from Trump's office of, what's his name? What's the name there? Merrill, the Herd, right? Uh, Asking how to position the over and under on the option side. I like options with them. Okay. CI dip says we're going to pull up a little bit more. This was getting very dangerous. Red Trust was negative for several days. I knew we're going to bounce at this point. Why? Bargain hunters come in. But this is all news driven. It's all news driven. So everybody's scared. That's why once the news came out today, it went there. Take a look at Vols. Vols with four sigma. And at 60. What did I say last webinar? I said, don't tell me. I think last webinar we were here, somewhere in this area, right? When was last webinar? 2 weeks ago. What's the date? I think it was the 20. Hold on. It was no, no. It was 19. Okay, so 19 of right there, right there. I said, guys, we're about to rotate. You can see that the green lines are rotating on CI, so we're gonna go up. But for me to be comfortable with the low, I want to see a 60. How did I come up with that? Go to weekly. When the daily is not clear, go to weekly. Very, very simple. And you see what we call shock waves. You see shock waves? And this was high up there. I said I need to see 60. 45, or somebody asked 50, throw the number out. What do you think about 50? I said, doesn't do it for me. I need baby with bathwater going out of the window. And that's what did it. And no, no, it's not that. Hold on, sailor. Hold on. It's four sigma that's matter. I hang out with the guy who wrote VIX, Dr. Uh, Robert Whaley. We actually did a project together for options in Nasdaq when they bought after they bought Philex, which is Philadelphia Exchange. Uh, Let me show you that. This is crucial. Good question. But then I gotta get going here. I gotta get to other things. You see that dashed line, the dashed line here, this dots. That's four sigma. Let me do this. That's four sigma. We hit that at 60 at four sigma. Now that's magic. Not just 60, but at four sigma. Remember, in COVID we hit 80. Absolute theoretical was 180 during 87 crash, but VIX was not around. VIX was not produced until like 1980, after what you call it, the Brady Commission came in to try to figure out what went wrong. So you couldn't see it there. It was theoretical. They they back tested data from SIBO has a huge option in data. Same as the University of Chicago and UCLA. Those are three sources of data. They record every single trade. Okay. Uh, and then that was used to design VIX. And so I've always contended that it's not the level. These guys are talking CNBC, they have no clue. And Dr. Reddy agreed. He says, yeah, you're right. It's the shape of it. It's how fast it's getting there. Because this all it is a shock measure. It's a measure of the shock coming at you. The higher, the faster, logarithmically, it creates such a skew on your option pricing that everybody's brother jumps out of the window. And that's what we wanted. I said, I want these guys jumping out of the window. Once they do that, I want to buy. So until then, I'm going to stay short. I'm going to squeeze every single one of them. The problem I have is that I'm followed by a number of hedge funds. That's the problem. So it's sometimes, not all, becomes self-fulfilling prophecy. I got a guy en route to Dubai to meet the Earl's family members. He calls in on his corporate jet that, hey, I want to go over these charts. I said, Sunday. He goes, Farry, come on, buddy. Don't do this to me. I said, okay, whatever. So, I wasn't right, by the way. Look at what happened right here. This is This is Monday, but look what happened yesterday. Yeah, so I wasn't right, but I was within the was what we call center error probable, within the locus or where the bomb is going to fall. So you don't have to be accurate all the time. What's more important, that 70% being correct, is the other 30%, which is risk management. If you don't get that right, you're really in trouble. And I've done it myself. I've probably blown more accounts than all you guys combined. So, from day one. Some were very small. But the trick is trade small out of a big account and be patient and have good indicators. And but the key part is what discipline. You have to cerebrally execute, just like a robot. You can't think. I say, oh, bad. Oh, whoa, this is dollars. I'm down this much. I'm down 20,000. What do I do? The blood will rush to your head. You don't see what's in front of you. You've seen our logo. Trade what you see, not what you think. And I think I can go and say that. Look at my pedigree. Look at my background. I've got bookcases everywhere, by category. Personal stuff, music, not music. I'm saying markets, politics, what have you. I haven't. I'm a bookworm, but I'll say this to you. I'll submit this to you. You want to be a good trader? Throw all those books out the window. Trade what you see, not what you think. Okay, somebody tells you what to do, ask them questions to the nth degree. So, what is this? Okay, let's close this. Okay. All right, let's go to DT. Big thing now with the money managers. Why? The elasticity down here. So we talked about this, or we'd open it like that, so you can get the highs and lows. We told you we're not there yet. We're close. Obviously, we went further down from the 19th. Um, I'll still submit to you. This is not the end. This is the first leg. We have to do a W, but W cannot be close. A friend of mine called this afternoon. I'm coming back from the sauna for here, and he goes, "Faye, that was a lot. We retested." I said, "Jesus, your mouth smells like fresh milk. That means in Persian, that means watch out. Maybe next is your diapers. You're still a kid. Okay, this is not a retest. This is gonna go up, and then you want a W. But that's the low of the two W's, the two low points, should be about a month, 3 weeks. This doesn't count. We just set the level. So here's a number. The number is 48.35. Let's say 48.50. We need a test. I'm sorry, it has to be a little bit lower. We need a test of 4,800, but not now. A little bit forward. And so that's defined dead cat. I'll run with it. Remember, the death cross is coming. So I'll run with this to about 5,800. Then I'll pause and make a decision. I'm not going to cover now. I don't need to. Yeah, we're ahead pretty good. Let's go to yields. Okay. Again, smartest trader in town in your trading group is your bond trader. And as you can see, as Admiral Tico said on the 10-year, he said here in September when the Fed deducted reduced by 50 basis points right off the bat. What Admiral Tico said, and everyone was projecting down here. Admiral Tico said, "Tell it bye bye. Say bye bye. We're not going to see this level again." Look what happened. And I think the rates will go up. He brought this down to refinance, but then he also bring the economy down. Not very smart, but he was never good with numbers anyway. And it was a kind of the biggest problem it wasn't the amounts. We just started. It's just that wishy-washiness that shows amateur. They don't know what the decision is. You gotta find a good decision and with your conviction, hold on to it. It's not, oh, let me try this, let me try that. So he almost single-handedly brought down the U.S. economy. It still's done a lot of damage. It's going to take a while to come back. You're going to see it on employment. You're going to see it in commodity prices. You're going to see it in bond prices. When the yields go up, bonds are dropping. Here's a side note: $9 trillion are coming due for this year. Okay, I think Mark Cuban said that. Yeah, he says, don't forget, guys, this could be all smoke screen. They're trying to bring the rates down because so much of the money. Remember, of the, I don't know, is it 6 trillion, 5 trillion? I forgot what budget is. It's Social Security, Medicaid, defense, and Interest on the debt. Right now, interest on the debt is $1 trillion. We're near that spiral that we not come out of. It's like a aircraft going to a flat spin. By the way, we changed our screens. Look what's running. Number 7, which is my birth number. And this is the 7 on the F-18s. These are Fs, by the way. Look at the nacelle. That's the F series. I didn't work on them. I worked on the A and Bs much earlier. But he's got a back seat. What is that? That's a VIP. This is for showing the demo. The rest of the other 6 are a single seat. They're either E series. But this is a F. F was Ferrari? Maybe. I don't know. But we switched that because we're running on a new server now. The last year, I've had, as I said, 6 new computers here. 3 new i7s and 3 new i9s. The pace is crazy, but we don't do anything simple. That's the problem. We need most of my work needs a lot of computational power, and my background was numerical approximation, I should say. Anyhow, long story short, let's go back to trade session here. I think that was the reason to bring the rates down, but this is this is what do you call it? Bond vigilantes. The smartest guy in the room. Why? Because you got to have good math. You can really actually project price of bonds much easier than you do with markets. And so we're up there, guys. So I expect this to go and take these out because we're entering stagflation, and that's very dangerous. We'll see how things go, but I would very, very careful. Keep an eye on the bonds. Both me, Nancy, Kelly, and of course Peter. That's one thing we look at. Treasury yield curve constantly. Okay, TD. All right. This was another signal. We went to 9. Listen, the buy point is 25. Limit 0 to 100. It's like when I was short Lehman Brothers. I was short from 22. I covered at 7. What does that mean? I'm a schmuck. I'm a schmuck. Okay. Uh, yeah, I've been at Point Magoo shows. Are very good. I worked on the first 24. I worked on the stabilizers. I worked on here. I worked on these. We could not get these working. It's a long process, but I fixed it. Again, same thing, numerical approximations. Anyhow, this was sitting at 7. Look how he ripped their face. I'm sorry, no, it was at 9. Hold on, let's refresh. It was at 9, and we went a little bit lower. That's it. We're at the bottom. Usually around 50 or after 25, I'm saying, we'll turn around. Somewhere in that area. You see that? This is your fair value. This is a sell area. This is huge buying opportunity. Look what we did to that. I mean, I haven't seen 10% day. I haven't. If you look at forget the scale, look at the percentage change. I haven't seen a 10% scale. It's incredible. It's ripped the faces of people. Now, how did it start today? Let's go over that. Kelly, who runs a pretty good size portfolio out of Century City, said it this morning. He says, guys, look at what's happening on the uh, CDSs, current default swaps. And they were getting opening. The other thing that was happening, again, this is the market. Can't shoot from your hip. The call volume were exploding. One thing me, Peter, and Kelly look at because of our background is option stuff. That's the smart guy. The smart guy in the equities is an option. Okay, mainly background is physics and math. If you go to the floor of a CBOE, which now is gone, but and now it's electronics upstairs, they're all mainly MBAs with a math and physics background. If you go to stocks or bonds, you have a lot of cowboys. Oh, I think it's going to go there. With bonds and our options, you see it. What we use is the OI, open interest. The open interest today on calls went crazy. Okay, let me go to another chart you need to look at. This one. We had a huge run up in new lows. Huge. If you do it this way, you go to weekly, you could get the perspective. My line in the sand about 140. Yeah, last week we crossed that. This week was even higher. It hit, let me tell you what it did. This is Monday, I believe. Yeah. It hit 169. I knew it. I knew the low is going to be in maybe a day, maybe two. But low is here. So it started accumulating slowly. And look at what happened with Momo. Went to negative 3 sigma. We dropped to below negative 8, also near 10. This is the low, guys, for time being. For the next 3 or 4 weeks, this is the low. So if you bought it, hold it. If you want to add, be careful. But obviously, early in the morning, that was crucial. And then, as I was going to sauna, Kelly called it. Says, "Mary, you like that call?" I said, "Yeah, I was about to call you." He was spot on. Nothing you can do by yourself, guys, trading wise. You need to be the chat room with smart people. No bullshit. That's what we have in decorum. You step out, you're out of line, you're going to be out. Faster than a rabbit gets pregnant. All right. The weekly, we went to a sell. This guy's rotate, obviously. That was a big move up. First, you're going to see it on the daily. That's going to flip. Now, sometimes in the chat room, I do these, by the way. Oh, yeah. We have these charts, middle of the day. Things are quiet. I'll do a quick PMT right there. I won't invite anybody out or nothing. Maybe I'll send a membership call and say, not other member because it's a software, the room keys are involved. But just a PMT, I mean, NQ and ES, they get a message saying, like in an hour, we're going to do a PMT in the room, live. The charts are sitting there, they're already sitting there. They don't have to log in, nothing. We just switch to that. We talk about what's happening. Only at key points, okay? Extremes. We have done that many, many times. Yesterday and today, we talked a lot about PMT charts. VIX we talked about. Hold on. There we go. Sorry. Is that? No. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. You see the rotation there is rotating down. The CIs, they were rising and they got killed. This is the bear area. It was actually higher. It was above zero as we're crossing down. Um, Treasuries, DT we talked about, right? Yeah, that's the DT like this. Okay, hold on. And okay, Larry. This is the subject of a lot of talk. You could see what happened midday. Once it penetrated here below 90, Tico writes about these on his feed. Oh, you should be following Tico's feed, by the way. Don't forget, it's right there. If you go to option side of the, I'm sorry, to PMT side, uh, there you go. Admiral, you should go. It's free, but you can see he's got about 2,300 followers, and he follows a bunch of chefs only. He doesn't follow anybody in the market. He doesn't care. Why? He doesn't need to. He's Admiral Tico. It's 11 pounds. That's very smart. Now he's getting free tomahawk. You see? Did you hear that, Siegfried? He's getting free tomahawk steaks from this hedge fund. Of course, for them it's peanuts up north. So. But most likely I'll go and pick it up because Jimmy is down here. Jimmy Peace. Anything here? There you go. Red Trust. There you go. Yeah. 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 So I was a big thing with. I mean, when I started trading, so you know, I was at Northrop. I was on F-18. I was guardian of my two brothers, so I had to come home, make sure they're fed, make sure they take their shower before they go to bed. I do check their homework, and then early in the morning go back up there. I registered 20 hour days regularly. I swear. And for F-18, that was crucial. And we were stuck in a very, very bad place. And so I learned that sometimes it takes intensity. You have to work. Um, the, when you get a read like that, that's beginning of one size of the intensity, one area, and that was the low. We almost do a retest failure here, and then we went to 90. So we should have a follow through tomorrow. Uh, who's good there? Norseman is good. You should follow them. Here how you gonna see it on your screen. If you go into home, no. I will go to his account. Okay. Uh, it's just the fun they're making out of this. Listen, you know what it was 2 months ago. Most night comedians they got half of the staff go writers have. Why? You have such a supplies of nonsensical, what do you call it? Um, um, what do I call it? I forget. It's just a comedy. Oh, Comedy Central. We call CNBC Comedy Central. Yeah, he posts this. Tico does. That's the chart, and you want to follow Norseman and Walter Deemer, and then you got to read this one. You got to read this one. It's the How Do You Pick the Bottom of the Market by Larry, Paul Desmond, good friend. Right up, he just passed away in Tampa. So yeah, so make sure you follow Tico. You get some insights and charts and all that. Um, let's go forward more here. Okay, this is another one. Oh, I'm sorry. There's two Larry charts. Let me open that one. That's the one that's got a mechanical system. Yeah, there you go. Buying power index. Now we don't give this out either. So first of all, it's not my code. This belongs to Peter, but I gave him one of my codes. He gave me this in response in return with the proviso that we're not going to share it with others. And I said, fine. Come on, we'll wait for it to kick in. This is a futures that's running, and it's got a trend following system in it, and it's very unique, very nice. It's called BPI, uh, Lowry's buying power index. Let's see where we are. Still hasn't gone long yet. You went short. Short. Look at that short. That's EMD. That's mid caps. Uh, went short here. Look, he was long. They were the next day. Okay, pretty sensitive. And this goes flip. This guy flip into long, and this is also short. So we've had this huge pressures on short side. Now, because it's trend following, you're gonna get false positive. You're gonna get the whipsaw that one of you said the experience. That's normal. It's gonna happen. And then it reverses again. You just mechanically execute this. Don't ask questions. Just. It could be another mistake that's wrong. This was wrong. You could get another wrong. Don't worry. Execute. Don't ask too much question. Execute. Once you understand that confidence, that trend following is the way to go. Remember, that was our orb thing for orb we did for NQ, and we still run orb. We made 52,000 for 3 contracts on Monday. Now margins were high, okay, but it was 3 times as much on a TradeStation versus Ninja. Ninja is 8,000 a contract times 3, so that would be 24. TradeStation is 24,000. Oh, 18,000, whatever I showed you, 19,000. They changed that times 3, so it's like 60 grand. It made 52,000. Remarkable. Obviously, if you come to the NQ room, are you with me, Charles? Okay. You come to the NQ room, you watch what the orb is doing, but you trade on Ninja. That's the best of 2 worlds. Yeah. Because of remember, nobody's going to be good at everything. No platform. So you got to take the good and the bad, and then filter it and operate it smoothly. What else do we have? IB levels. I want to just see this. Holy macro! See what happened? Yeah. These are the first hour high and lows, and look how it stopped. You could see the stops there. These key levels are there. Now, what you do is the if then. It's called acceptance. As it stop pulling back. Look, it came back, retested it, and went up. See the low? Yeah. Because what that level? That's the fourth level. You don't go to fourth level that easily. This is this was the signal. We're gonna go a lot higher. Look, at least double that. So this went to like IB8, if you think of it this way. Normally the default is 2 and -2. Why? We don't move beyond that normally. So this was a key day. Why? The CDSs, the spreads were getting tinier. I'm saying, yeah, they were getting, you were getting blown up, and then reverse came, and a lot of call options, massive amount of call options. Would somebody have known? I don't know. That's not my business. Don't have the tools in terms of market intelligence to respond to that. Okay, here's SQ. Let's see where SQ is today. Make sure you do a control orbit SQ. Just put a sigma chart on it because this data is done once a day, a little bit after close. This is a out of the money put long put activity. Out of the money. Okay. So it's looking at this area. So when we were up here, we're looking at this area, and we've gone all through it. Now, uh, the as it goes lower, the sigma chart around SQ. Look, it's hitting sigma levels. Incredible, right? You cannot trade this. This is a measurement. That means what happened here? They were covering their puts. So that's all you got to do. But you initiate the out of the money put up here, uh, not sell. You bought. Once it gets in the money, what do you do with it? You book it. So now they did that, and another retest down here, and then pulled up. Again, watch bonds, especially CDSs. Watch equity put call, very key. Otherwise, you up out in the nature doing wild things. You can't do that. You could get lucky once or twice, but if you take those trades, let's say go to Jamie Dimon or somebody, let's say Goldman. Hey, this is my 3,000 trades you asked. They want 3,000, by the way. The problems that they'll see will be the cowboy, and that's no good. Yeah, you gotta get methodically, guys. I'm really getting tired. Anything? Sorry about my. I mean, my hours are crazy because of Ninja. I should be good. By next week, I should be good. No, but that's what I said last week. And week before that was that tall Russian. At the end, she said, "You need me." I said, "Okay, okay, sure." Tall model, musician in Hollywood, model in Miami, and she goes back and forth. After a few days, I had to let her go. I gotta get to work. Can't do it otherwise. No, no. Sigma channels are by themselves. Sigma channels is a superstar Bollinger Band. It's a vibration. That's nothing to do with VVAP. We draw VVAP. Hold on. We do VVAP. Let's go here. This is VVAP, the blue, light blue. The French blue, that's VVAP. We use same color coding on, like for example, 200 day is always white. 50 day is cyan. Uh, but when it changes, that this obviously is a VVAP, and that's because of the slope. This new technology of transition, which is about 4 or 5 years old, allows you to have these color changes. I mean, look, we do. You see the color gradient? You see the red, orange, green. I mean yellow. I'm sorry, yellow, and then comes the green. It's called CG, color gradient. Yeah, it shows the period, the things, how something is moving. Let me do it this way. Hold on. Let's do a test here. New app. We have videos on these, by the way, Charles. Chart analysis. Okay, let's put in. That's about 5 minutes. Okay, let's put 15 minutes. Okay, and take a look at this. I'm going to do two things for you guys. Put DMZ. Let's give him a DMZ. Hold on. Um, and I prefer DMZ plus with a dash line in there. Huh? Hold on. What? No, no, not TCM. No, no. I'm talking about Happy. I'm sorry. Here's your DMZ plus. Okay, you put that in. Well, that's Mac. I'm sorry. DMZ. Oh, DMZ. There we go. What are you thinking, Fairy? Right there. Yeah. One plus, not two. Huh? Oh, there we go. DMZ plus. There we go. One. There's your DMZ, and there's that center line. You'll be short underneath, long underneath red, long over green. Keep in mind the direction, so you need to put a CI in there. I'll do it even better. We have done what's called DMZ diff CG. This is look at that. Murray, look at that Murray. Exactly see what you gotta do. Because the peaks and valleys. Yeah, this is the problem the best we do. I'll give you a hint. This is also in Tiger Shark. Yeah. Yep. So, this is one of the better ones we've seen. You could see the gap down, the pressure. You see, it's unrelenting. No need here to be a hero. You know what happens with heroes? We come to a meat grinder at Al's Beef in Chicago. Yeah, so it's very interesting. Anyhow, back to here. Da, 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 da. Okay, just one comment for you, Charles. Go to uh, go to the website. Go to TradeStation, and you can see these webinars. I still don't know what we missed here. Hold on, this is fine. Or is this? Hold on 1 second. That's fine too. Yeah. Okay. So you go to products. Go to again. I apologize. We're just rolling these out. They're not 100% perfect, but you have any problem, just email us. And we're not keeping it constant. We're improving it. We have to find them. There should be conflicts and so forth. But this was a massive, massive task. If you go here, these indicators plus a few more are involved, and it's a couple of offshoots that didn't even make it here. We had to convert all of that. This is a T for TradeStation to NT Pro, and so this text have to be checked. Yeah, yeah. We only did 17 of them. We're gonna do all of them, but not if it would impact my activities. So let me finish. We're done with Happy HA proprietary indicators. Now we have some other indicators that are called TCM, Tico Capital Management. That belongs to Tico. He's not gonna let you have it. Uh, those are almost done. We have a small one left that I haven't started, which is the radar screen. No, I'm saying it's a pop up. It takes off where the dome fails because dome doesn't give you everything. If you're trading size, you need more data. Um, and the other one is the Tiger Shark itself and the version 3.4. And so we're probably at version 2 right now because you have to build by version. But by next week, this time, we should be at 3.4. Then we can go back and pick up. First, then we're going to do videos for them. You can use TS videos, but out of respect, I want to Ninja Trade charts there. And then we'll come back and do anything left on the indicators. Not, there's some there's some that over time it turned out to be shoddy. And you don't know. When you write an indicator, you don't know. You got to test it. But we're around 26 years. So you've been through up market, down market, side market, high volatility, low volatility. Any questions for me? Oh, two more charts. I'm sorry. We got two more charts for you. 50 bar. Here we go. Okay. Holy mackerel. Wow. Hold on 1 second. I hate these ads. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, there we go. Excuse me. On the 50 bar set, 50 DMA. It's a scoring number. Okay. It's not a price. It's a percentage of S&P 500 stocks. Okay. The above 50, we get down there, it was like nothing. That's a low. They're gonna buy us because we also have this slow drift. And now we're gonna come and meet these two lines. I use 20 and 50. The preset here from stock chart is 10 and 20. Ignore that. That's not good. Let's look at 200. Oh, there you go. Wow. It went okay. It went to below 20. Wow. Yeah. So it's going to rush up. Try and go to 40. You have to look. First pause and then 50. The range is somewhere in this here, 15 to 85. I think we hit 8 on in COVID in excuse me on that day on the 23rd of what was a Monday, 23rd of March, 2020. I think we hit 7. I think or we hit yeah. This was lower than SP2. No one chart is going to tell you what to do. It's a preponderance of evidence. JPM on Friday, and yeah, as usual. Nancy says JPM on Wells Fargo. Yeah, on Friday. I agree. All right, let's go to our charts session. part of Nasdaq components. Sorry, guys. We usually have these things open all day because of what has been going on. But there's such a heavy-handed activity. We shut things down so we don't lose the chart. Hold on. What is the market caps? All went green. You know how many days were all red? Yeah. I got a friend who's down 7 mils. Yeah. On 3 names. Well, first of all, he's a Trump kid, so let me qualify. So he doesn't listen to logic. Okay? Yeah. And he's not deplorable. He's very rich, but he's also very stupid. Uh, he says, "I'll buy more." What strategy is that? I buy more. So what he has is what's called massive opportunity cost. He keeps buying stuff. He's in horrible shape. Holds on them 6 months, a year. The moment he gets positive, he solves everything. He doesn't hold. He he holds to the negatives too long, and to his winners very short. A successful trader has to be reverse of that. And I've seen him lose three. I mean, no, not three. I've lose him big down a lot, but over the years. But on average, he loses $1 million a year. How do you make $1 million in the market? Start with 2 million. Yeah. Anyhow, 3 names: Nvidia, Tesla, and MSTR. And these are high beta names. Okay, you gotta come and take a look. MSTR, Tesla, and Nvidia. He's in all three of them. Are you nuts? And he doesn't understand market timing. Yeah. I mean, just so stupid. It's just like shooting yourself. Now, MSTR is going to get into trouble. I know that because of crypto. You know, Tico's target for crypto is 62.5. 62.5. Yes, yes. Not now. Remember, these are long-term monthly charts, but become a magnet. At one point, given the right conditions, the magnet will suck you in. Okay. And we were near that because 249 was Tico's target. So let's go and open swing here. Then we're going to go over these names. And you're welcome to post the charts you want. Okay. I'm more than happy to go through that. Okay. There you go. So let's go through MSTR. I have his text saying, how does Tico knew it was 249? You see the low? What did Tico say about that? It was this one, about 400. That earning Friday. I believe that was it, wasn't it? Is that 17? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. January 17 was that. And uh, the problem is Taylor's got a very smart guy, very smart, no question. He's got aeronautical engineering from MIT. The problem is that he's borrowed on long bond and he's invested in MSTR. Those are convertible bonds, so they have a high yield he has to pay. Some were converted, but his problem is going to explain to his board what the hell this is. How did he let it go here? You'll see massive lawsuits coming in. That's part of given. Same thing with Tesla. Admiral Tico, how are you? Ladies and gentlemen, Admiral Tico has joined us. Boo Boo, we're talking about you. You want more steak? Boo Boo, no more steak. You have plenty of steak. Plus more coming. Okay? Yeah, you gotta negotiate with this guy. The problem is this guy's on credit card. He doesn't give a damn what I say. Yeah, so anyhow, Tesla. We were looking for sub 200 because at 133 is his notes that he has pledged. Then the massive selling would start. We were not out of the woods. Healthy comeback here, but there's also the death cross. Yeah, when the 50 drops below 200. So, and that was all-time high 488. See, the loans he had before was at 400 pre-split, so it would be 133. At we're out of that area for now. This is the 4 sigma, which is 176. But we thought it's probably going to go sub 200 and see what happens. Didn't exactly get there. We got close. The low there was how much? 214, 217, and then today 223. So never got there. Don't worry. They'll get there. You know what? Parts. And the brand is gone. The brand is gone. Boom. And that's why he lost 70% of his orders in Europe. That doesn't come back that fast. And that's why part of that is because of what he did, but to each to his own. Tesla, Nvidia, MS. Do we do MSTR? Yeah, we did MSTR. So do Nvidia. Nvidia, we're talking about 90. I don't think we got. Oh yes, we did. Oh wow, yes, it was 87. So Tico Price post charts there. Just follow him on Twitter. Okay, what else do we have name wise? Let me go to just market caps. I usually open on the other side. Hold on. Let me close this. I'm gonna bring it out so you can't. There's in this. Uh, it's in this. Hold on. Open a desktop. Hold on. Let me. I don't see it here. Hold on. Oh, I don't know what happened to that. Okay. Hold on one second. Was that deleted by mistake? Hold on. Yes. What did I tell you? Restore. Yeah, yeah. You have a little bit of time to do that before you blow it away. All right. So we got to go to here. See, I want to get to this ease I have with TradeStation. Tesla's going to be, Ninja's going to be a while. So we're going to go to that, open. There you go. I want to open TMC. It's going to open on this side. I'm going to put the, what do you call it there? The data for, what we call NASDAQ 40, top 40. And then I can click and show up on this side. Okay. All right, it's open here. So, see what I'm saying? It's open next door. All right, so let's get rid of these. Let's get. I want to keep my comments so I can see what you guys are up to. Okay, and there you go. We're good to go, guys. Okay, so let's sort on market cap. We did. No, yeah, yeah. Let's do on market cap. By the way, if you want market cap, we can also send it to you. It's we wrote a code to do that for radio screen. So let's go to Apple. Apple is a big one. All right, so it loads automatically. Okay. Move. You see what the weekly were? Yeah. But we got a dot. Yeah. Charlie, dots are serious. Serious dots. Okay. You'll see it. Look what happens. And then you get dots on top. You see what happens. It just came from Marshall. Listen, majority of this website is not mine. Ideas majority. I mean, I've done some push. I got some, uh, uh, strategic alliances, what have you. But a lot of it has been tidbits of suggestions and webinars from other people. And every once in a while, they have somebody that's got a really good one. That's from my buddy Marshall, which we did the IB together. This was our first indicator, IB levels, back in 1995, over a lot of Ormisap Z and T. That's a Persian food my ex-wife used to cook. Marshall was next door. He was also part of my UGA, the American Mask group. Anyhow, he's pissed at me because I went to LA, didn't see him. But I figure he's gonna be visiting Malibu. He had a lot in Malibu, just completely burned down. Yeah, no, Palisades, right where Malibu starts. Uh, uh, Gladstone for fish. Yeah, when sunset hits, PCH. We used to bike up there and back in my younger days. But I couldn't trade from LA. Hours are wrong. Okay, Apple. What do we got? Return. Okay, hold on. Yeah. Weekly, very crucial. Found that support. Already broke through 0.6 on monthly. And then went a lot lower. A lot lower. That was scary. Uh, you know what's most worried about that? Overseas investors. Yeah. Not going to get into detail, but even overseas investors were very worried. Microsoft. Look at that. Very strong company, well run, well entrenched in the U.S. business community. They went to almost -2 on monthly. This should not happen. This is creates havoc in there for the company, for management, for employee, the programming. A lot of your goals have to be changed. Amazon, Very nice return. Nancy, go buy some Amazon for yourself. You got to pay for that fancy car you got. Let the market pay for it. Yeah, it's a very good one. Yeah, I like that. We're not late. I don't believe in you early or late. I believe in getting the direction right. It doesn't matter you're early or late. You have to get direction right. If you don't get the direction right, it doesn't matter. So Amazon is good. Also, staples. Staple, I mean, consumer staples right now is important. Cuban was talking about yesterday. So, Google. Okay. Google is not bad either, guys. Google's not bad either. Yeah. Not too weak. Good reversal. Uh, and fended off 200 day. Let's go. Meta. Meta is next. Okay. Now, this was trouble. Remember, I said, I'm not sure what it's going to do. This has been trouble that you could see. Look at these gaps. He covered all of that. I'd say Meta is good too. Yeah, it's scratch move. Actually, he got injured. Remember Siegfried? Yeah. Some girl were after him, dog of female dog, and he kept on saying, "Not honey, I have a headache," and she still wanted to play, so he slapped her. It's on video. That's his dog hotel. So Tico does things his way. You can't tell him what to do. My my siblings say that's good, Farry. You're getting punished back for all the miseries you gave us. I was firstborn and first grandchild in a male-dominated society, and I guess I was okay. Uh, you know, I don't mean smart, but at least I used to get good grades and so forth. And so I I ruled. I did whatever I want until my dad would show up from a flight pack or something. Until he wasn't around, I ruled. Very spoiled. The maids, the grandma, they're all upset with me all the time. But they wouldn't dare telling me that because they wanted me to give them the attention. Yeah, I was playing like a mafia. Not bully, but always give them an offer they couldn't refuse. Okay, Netflix. Uh, this is another consumer staple. As a matter of fact, as the economy get bad, this is a cheap entertainment. So I like Netflix here too. And I like the positive slope. Again, slope and color. Slope and color. TMS for case. Okay, this is ASML. Up 14%. Very nice, very nice. I would take a look at ASML too. I think they make chip stuff, right? Chip stuff in there. It's a Netherlands. It's ANV. So it's not you're not getting maybe you're getting ADR, but you're not getting a certificate from a transfer agent here in the U.S. Cisco. Oh no, not the food company. This is a telecom. There's no story here. What have these guys done? Nothing. It's like Oracle. Yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah. Great ideas didn't go anywhere. The telecom businesses, so. Why? We're saturated. The phone companies know their suppliers. There's very little upside. AstraZeneca. I remember this move here also was talking about uh, medicals stuff. That's why this morning at the open, I thought this could be the second shoe that drops. We said that, but I didn't know. Then I went, I had some stuff to do here. Then I went to sauna, and then all of this happened. Okay, any names you guys want me to look at? I'm done with my wrap up of top 40. We don't do all of them, obviously, but this is how we look at it. So remember, I'm a numbers guy, so I look at without any emotions on numbers. It has worked for me. To each to his own. I'm not saying this is good for everybody. Anybody, you want AZO? I thought I did that, no? AZO, okay. No, AutoZone. Oh, AutoZone. Yeah. Hey, these guys got some help. Looks like they were put on is that 3,500? Holy mackerel. But it only came up 2 points. He moved 76 handlers, but that's only 2%. Holy mackerel! To me, down here, this was on life support. Yeah, because of the industry too. If these cars would go up 4,000, 5,000, 10,000, what was Trump thinking? Is this the stable genius? I think not. That's it. Any other names, guys? Don't be shy. It's only six. I'm kidding. One day we went so long. You want? Oh, shit. We don't do Bitcoin. This why? It's not investment grade. I want management. Proven. I want fortress balance sheets. I want product that's widely used. BTC is none of them. It's just what Sailor comes and says. So this is Bitcoin. Or we can look at BTC USD, which is more of a it's like a forex. Yeah. Listen. Here's the issue. Target is 65. It was lower. They have come up a little bit. Mark, he got talked about it. 62.5. Now it's 50, 65.2. The upside isn't there, especially if lawsuits hit MSTR. You know how much they have to unload. So the problem is it doesn't have cash flow. Stocks are priced based on discounted value of futures cash flow. That's MBA 101, Investment Analysis 101. What's the cash flow? Who's the management? We don't know. We don't know. This is just too much back and forth. Yeah, over nothing. I wouldn't touch it. Now, bunch of my friends here, that's coin, I'm saying. They're just they're so disappointed. I mean, they were telling me we'd be at 125 to 150 by no lose, March 21st. I said, I don't know what you guys are smoking, but keep smoking it. Yeah. Remember, I need sheep. The only way I can be fed is for me to slaughter some sheep. Unfortunately, because it's a zero-sum game and money doesn't go in threes. KKR, big M&A firm. Uh, Remember, IPO market is done. There's nothing. Private equity. I mean, I have a friend whose dad left him in private equity. Yeah. Trust fund kid on Park Avenue. These guys are having meetings with Jesus. Come to Jesus. Uh, that class of what KKR investment. I mean, these guys will find a way to milk it. And the issue is, what's the margin level? And like you get more out of them during the IPO because margins are so high. Remember, when you open up the next ever IPO, has happened to me. You already get as a company member, let's say, board of directors or owner, you already get paid the registered amount. The night before, minus whatever's your IPO cost, like 6-7%, depending how sexy it is. Uh, what happens? Then the shares start trading, and the first ones are the company itself because they want to increase the float. But if it pops, they're the biggest winners. Um, so I don't see these private equity firms are in trouble because of that. There's just no secondary market. I mean, there's no hope for secondary market right now because IPO market is basically shot. As a good friend of mine I know, he's a Indian fellow, pretty good thriving business in Dallas. The other day, the son was almost crying. He says the private equity is so nervous they want to be able to sell. They don't want to go public. They're changing our game plans. I said, well, how'd you get in bed with them? He said, well, they gave us an offer of the money. We took it. Except there were two kids, basically, youngsters, he and his partner, and they didn't know what they were dealing with. Now they think they're going to be dumped early. That's the other side of private equity. If they panic, they just raise cash. They sell you down. No worries. No questions asked. Into it. Uh, Energy. Okay, hold on. Who's APO? That's NTU. Yeah, that's holding up. I don't have a call. on into it. Yeah. Let me go to CVX and Zoom. That's because crude oil drop. Yeah, that's probably good now too. Yeah, but don't go crazy. You have like 6, 7 points between where you are and the 200. I mean, by having these indicators, you can just do it yourself. You need to wait to come here 2 weeks later and so that great move has happened. Yeah, I'm a mean reversion guy too, especially with companies with strong liquidity. Yes, yeah, products management, fortress balance sheet. I'm not saying CVX is, but it's a qualification. I'm saying qualified. The one that's qualified is Exxon. I have many old friends actually who are still holding and keeping the coupon, the dividend. Um, I don't have a projection on oil. I don't know, but it's more of an indicator that we're the economy is slowing down. The APO. What is APO? That, is that Apache Oil? No, no. Oh, Apollo Global Management. Yeah. Yeah, Apache is. I forgot what it is. Oh, I forgot. I don't know if they're still public or they're or bought out or what. Um, yeah, at one point, Apache is a driller in Denver area. I had a lot of Apache. My dad panicked. Like, what do you do this for? I said, Dad, you need more tea. You could joke around with my dad. No, he didn't like that. He was the head of Israel airlift command in Iran. Largest airlift command. Maybe Russians were close to us, but nothing in that area was that big. So this guy was a character. So and part of the Shah too, valedictorian, just air attaché in Washington, saved Grumman from bankruptcy. Just a colorful character and very stern. No joking around. APO, yeah, yeah. I think obviously looking at the chart, if you had the CI and NCI, I know you do, the signal was good. Yeah, APA, that's right. APA. APA is there for Apache. Yeah, that's right. Thank you for reminding me. Um, yeah, you could see this actually. It gets confusing like this. Very flat in the area. Go one level up. Go to weekly, and you can see what's going on here. Yeah, probably. If you want to have a 2 months, 3 months hold, probably not a bad idea on APO. Yeah, because of what the weekly is showing. You're about to cross. Remember, this is also color gradients, and not a great area, but I don't want to have a great area right now because if you're weekly dropping like that, there's a lot of bloodshed out there. Let me look at APA. Just remind me of those days. Apache, yeah. Oh, APA core. It is Apache. I hope. All right. Was oh shit. Oh my god. Oh shit. It's really dropped. You sure that's the one? See that? Yeah. It's like 10%. It's lost 90%. APA. Oh, what do you mean? It's capital markets. That's gibberish. What do you mean? I can check with you later. Any other questions for me, guys? Oh, like KKR. I see. So they're doing M&A. Anything else, guys? Anything I can answer to? Oh, um, okay. So Charles, oh, you're doing NT backtest, right. I mean, NT uh, Ninja Trader. I see. Yeah. I got you. I know where you are. Okay, you're on the system. I'll give you a couple of weeks on NQ. Come on in the morning. Okay. What time zone are you in? Don't come in late. No, don't worry. Don't worry about that. Just don't come in late because there's lots happening early on, and you got to prepare for. Arizona. Oh shit. Oh god. I have a good friend, one of my classmates. He ran McAfee. Um, in Phoenix. Yeah, I used to go to my dad to Tucson, use aircraft. Yeah, they make the best avionics. Yeah. Okay, let's wrap this up. Otherwise, I'll talk to forever. And I gotta rest. Tomorrow's another day, another dollar. Thank you all for coming. Charles, thank you. Michael, thank you. Ralph, thank you. Of course, Siegfried. We'll get this thing posted for you shortly. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you. Good night. No worries, Siegfried.